Hey guys, welcome to The Art of Comics. It's me, your host, Andres Salazar. It's Saturday, 10:30 p.m. and I wanted to do a quick video here, a little memento mori for one of the greats. Neal Adams passed away yesterday, and I thought I would be remiss if I didn't mention it here on the channel. Neal Adams, I won't go into his full bio. You can look on that online and such, but he was instrumental in really bringing the visual medium of comic books to really the next level. Coming from the advertising world and such a graphic advertising kind of design style with some really solid draftsmanship. He really, in the 70s, brought comics up, and it was really revolutionary. And I don't say that in any, hyperbole. He was a master of comics, revitalizing and just making some great work. I was looking through my books here, there, and over there. I don't have any big trades or hardcovers of his work. It's all floppies and loosies over there in my stacks of long boxes, and honestly, I didn't have the time today to go through them and try to find some issues. So I'll zip through some different artwork as I talk here, so visually you can kind of like see some of his work. Probably best known for his work on Batman, really doing some wonderful work on Batman, as well as Brave and the Bold, Hal Jordan, Green Arrow, really changing the design, the style, the artwork, penciled work, inked stuff, just really wonderful artwork. If you're not familiar with his work, I highly recommend go check out Neal Adams. And I'm going to show you some stuff here. Just look at this stuff. It is just brilliant what he does. The dynamic nature of the panel. He also had an element of bringing things in reality. One of these iconic images is Superman fighting Muhammad Ali. That's just a really iconic image that he did. There's things like that. I think he had to redo some, if I recall correctly. I've met him a number of times. He was always at Comic-Con. He had a really great, he was like grandfathered in this really great position on the floor in San Diego Comic-Con. And I think he got it like at a discount. Or he got some kind of super sweetheart deal, because his massive Neal Adams, like everywhere, spot. And I'd chat with him, not often, but, I'd chat with him, see him, and, kind of kibitz about, not having a roadie. And you would see him, Neal Adams, like schlepping his stuff, his prints and all, because that's what he would do at Comic-Con. He would sell like, three prints, signature for 100, 2 prints for 50, something like that, And he'd sign them. He'd sign a book or whatever you'd want. And, he'd have his, roller full of like suitcases of stuff that he would bring, and him and his wife. Very approachable, nice guy, but also, kind of like down to brass tacks. He was kind of a no-nonsense. He's been around the block. He has been in the comic book, for decades. So he was also one not to mince with words, and wasn't over gracious, we'll say, but he wasn't a curmudgeon like, say, Alex Toth. That's for sure. He was nice enough. I also had another experience meeting him. I went to his store. He had right before the pandemic, he opened up a new shop in Burbank with some business partners of his, and it was a comic shop, but he was kind of doing a little spin on it. He also wanted to make kind of like an arts supply, an art shop for comics, as well as sell comic books and do some kind of workshopping or kind of a creative hub there, which is a really great idea, especially in Burbank, where you have a lot of people in the arts there. So I was there, and I was in like this little small group of like 12 of us, and we got to sit at the feet, and he got to kind of hold court and listen to Neal talk about the business, talk about his experience working for different people, just fascinating stories. And one of the things that really struck with me is that he said that comic book artists right now, comic book creators, really are they're like the dream makers right now. Like right now, the way media is, the way Hollywood is going to comics to mine out, strip mine the IP, we'll call it, the content, the new stories, the new ideas. In comics, you can do anything and everything, no budget necessary. And with technology being where you can now digitally do all that, there are no budget constraints regarding really wild stories, that comic book creators are like the hub. They're the ones who are making these stories. They're the dream maker. They're the creators. They're the most important visual artists today. And that struck a chord with me. I thought, wow, that's really kind of interesting to think of that. Because you always think maybe of like, oh, well, film directors or animation or something like that. No, it's like, he's like, comic book guys. You guys are the ones that are like leading it. You guys are actually doing things that then everyone kind of like grabs. So he had a kind of a vision. He had kind of an idea of what the comic book industry needed, what comic book creators need. And he was one of these guys that were for creator rights, I might be misspeaking because I took notes of that a couple years ago, but I can't find them. But correct me in the comments. I believe he was one of the guys who was really heavy on getting your art back. And am I getting him? No, I don't think I'm getting him mixed up with Gil Kane. I think he was the one that was really about like getting your art back and getting that product, because I think in advertising you would. And so he really came at comic books in a kind of a different angle. And this like, work for hire, enslaved by the deadlines and the editor thing, he wasn't down with. And he really was trying to bring it up to more of a, appropriate graphic design business. So he came at it from different. And so I think he tried to really push those kind of creators' rights and that kind of deal. So that was kind of important and interesting about him. I'm sure if there hasn't been any like books about him, like really deep dives, there should be, or there might be some being made. And I would highly recommend it. His interviews too, you can find online or in written form, are very entertaining and very enlightening. Again, he's been in the business for a long time, and it is sad to see him go. And passed away yesterday. And so, honestly, no lie, his fingerprints on the way we tell story and the language of comics, especially mainstream comics, especially like superhero comics, Neal Adams. You got to give it to Neal Adams, dude. He's one of the guys. He's one of the greatest of all times. Okay, he's up there with the greatest, like legitimately. So just want to do a quick video for that. Hope everybody's doing great. Haven't posted a ton lately, but I've been working on this film project. If you want to see more about the new film I'm working on, check out my Patreon, of course, or my other channel, which is my name, Andre Salazar. And then my third channel is the music called The Outgroove, which I'm doing a lot of because that's easy and fun. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful time and a wonderful day. Go check out Neal Adams. He is one of the best. And rest in peace, and talk to you later. Bye, guys. Take care.